Hey, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I would like to share the 6 phases I went through while sculpting this sculpt in Blender as a beginner. I also plan to make videos about all the mess ups and the mysteries I had to unravel to get to this end process, this end state of this sculpt. So yeah, let's dive into the 6 phases now. For phase 1, I hopped on YouTube and tried to find a nice tutorial about sculpting a female face. So I found this really nice tutorial by Speedchar where he uses a tablet. I followed that along, created my own little face, my own little twists on that. So I now had a face. So step 2, phase 2, was creating eyes. I tried to sculpt them, but it didn't work. Went horrible. So I decided I would like to model the eyeballs. So the first thing I did was watch a tutorial by Speedchar about the proportions of eyeballs and the placing in the face. So that was really helpful because how big and small do eyeballs really need to be, right? After that, I found this really nice short by Homespow, YouTube short, where in 1 minute is explained how to model an eyeball with the color and everything. I had a little bit of trouble creating the glare on the eyeball. It took me a long time to find a setting somewhere where you can actually turn on the glare, the reflection, if you will. So we have a face, we have eyes, and then I moved on with the hair. Now I know that Blender has a beautiful hair system in there, but it was a little bit, and still is a little bit, intimidating to me. So I decided to go with hair curves. I found this really nice tutorial by Adam Art where she explains how to create hair by using curves. So it was really helpful, and I created this little hairdo with that. One thing I would like to share is a really big lesson that I learned is not to flip the normals. What it eventually does is in the final render, it messes up the render because it's like the mesh is like inside out, and then, you know, all the calculations go wrong and all that jazz. So you don't want to flip the normals. Yep. Okay, noted. So we have a face, eyes, hair, and I really fell in love with sculpting at that point, and I decided that I wanted to create the body. Because I was following along Speedchar's tutorial, he mentioned that he has this really cool course, Sculpting a Demon Huntress. I looked that up and I decided to invest in that and hop into the course. And I skipped the parts where he creates the face and the hair because I already did that, and I moved along to sculpting the body. It was really cool, and guys, it's anatomy, so things go really weird really quickly if you don't get that right. I spent a lot of time on creating the right proportions. Well, in my eyes, it's kind of okay, right? There's probably a million things wrong with it, I know, but I'm just a beginner. But I really had a lot of fun creating her body, the shapes and everything, armor, and then the texture, and the metal glare, and it all came together. It felt really cool. After that, it was time to pose her, because when we create the body in the course, she has this T-pose with the legs like out and the arms out, so you can put the skeleton in there. Skeleton rig, whatever it's called, you know, the bones and everything. Because in the course you use the rig to pose her. Now I didn't know about weight painting at that point, and I really had a hard time not using weight painting to pose the body. So it ended up messing up my whole mesh, and I just posed her and then went back into sculpt mode and fixed everything. So after that, I modeled the sword and the flames and some bowl with reflections. That's the background that you can see. Because in the last phase number 6, it's time to create a 360 degrees animation. So in the course, Speedchar uses After Effects for that, but I decided I wanted to do it in Blender. Basically, long story short, just put an empty in the dead smack middle of everything at the feet or something, and then link or track the camera to that, and then animate the empty for 360. There you go. With that said, we now have a full-blown sculpt with a 360 degrees animation. And the last thing I wanted to do is give a little shout out to Pomachak Mikael, which is the artist behind the inspiration for the armor of this sculpt. All the links, all the things I mentioned will be in the description below. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Let me know what your first sculpture creation was in Blender. And if you like, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.